You are welcome to our class, the Pure Mathematics Lab. Today we want to talk about volume of prism. In our last class we explained the meaning of prism, we explained the meaning of 3D shapes, and we explained that the prism is a 3D shape that is having what? A cross section. So if you have a opposite here, get it down. Volume of a prism. Then volume of a prism, volume of prism can be determined by area of the cross section, multiplied by the what? By the height. That is the first thing to determine the volume. To determine the area of the cross section. Once you are able to identify the cross section, then you have to find the area of that cross section and multiply by what? By the height. Then in our last class I explained that prisms, they are what? Cube. The example of prism is cube. Is what? Cuboid. Is also what? A cylinder. Among the cube, I'm making a keyboard, cylinder. Then I've explained the reason why. Then now let's determine the volume of prism. Volume of cube. Volume of a cube. The volume of a cube is a cube. That is, the cross section is what? Is a sphere. Is area of a sphere multiplied by what? By the height. And the area of a sphere is what? L square multiplied by what? By the height. But to the height here now at the end, they are the same. At the giga, at the length here, at the width here, they are the same thing. That's what I'm saying. Since L equals to width, same thing as what? As height. Then the volume of cube is equals to L times L. Because this is length, this is width, this is height. To give us what? L raised to power 3 centimeter cube. But volume of a cuboid, volume of a cuboid, volume of a cuboid is area of the cross section. We have a cuboid here too. I have a cuboid here. You can see the cross section is what? It can be square. It can also be what? It can also be rectangle. But we make use of a rectangle because it's not always a square. That the first thing is to find the length times the width of what? Of the cross section. Because it is a square or what? A rectangle. So that was length times width or times breadth multiplied by the height. This is the area of the cross section. Length times breadth. And that will give us what? LWH centimeter cube. That's the volume of what? Of a cuboid. Now what of the volume of a cylinder? Volume of a cylinder. The volume of a cylinder. This is a cylinder. I also have a cylinder here. Now, if I look for the cylinder, you can see that the cross section is what? Is a circle. The cross section is what? Is a circle. I've explained the reason why the cross section is a circle in our previous video. So that will now give us what? Area of the circle pi r square. This is the area of the cross section multiplied by the what? By the height. To give us the volume. That is why the area of the cylinder is pi r square h centimeter cube. Centimeter cube is the unit for finding what? For finding the volume. Now let me show you this thing. It's a why question though. I will come and solve it. In another class. I will come and solve it. You can see, is it a prism? Yes, it's a prism. Prism because it's having a cross section too. This place and its opposite, they are the same. Because they are the same, it's not a prism. Now if you want to find the volume of this thing, the amount of space in this, that will give us what? The area of this cross section, which is what? A sector, which is going to be theta over 360 times pi r square multiplied by the what? By the height of this shape. Now, okay, what do you mean by volume? Volume is defined as the amount of space that an object occupies. It will mean volume ní nǹkan ihò ààyè tó wà nínú nǹkan kí ló lè gbà? So iye rice wo ló lè gbà? Iye omi wo ló lè gbà? Iye tea wo ló lè gbà? Iye epo wo ló lè gbà? The amount of space ihò tó wà nínú ẹ̀ ó là ń pè ní volume. So today we talk about the volume of a prism, which is the volume of a cube, volume of a cuboid, and same time volume of a what? Of a cylinder. So in our next class, we are going to move towards the surface area of what?